Graduates and guests, may we have your attention, please? Convocation is about to begin. If you have a mobile device or pager with you, please turn it off or silence it during the ceremony. Thank you for your attention and congratulations. If able, please rise.
We wish to acknowledge this land in which the University of Toronto operates. For thousands of years, it has been the traditional land of the Huron-Wendat, the Seneca, and the Mississaugas of the Credit. Today, this meeting place is still the home to many Indigenous people from across Turtle Island, and we're grateful to have the opportunity to work on this land. We're also grateful to have the opportunity to celebrate the achievements of our scholars who graduate today. On their behalf, let us express gratitude for the support of their families and friends, and for the faculty and staff who have guided them in their pursuit of knowledge. Whatever our own traditions, let us reflect as we proceed through the convocation ceremony on the many years of effort, sacrifice, and success that have brought us to this time of celebration. In concilium universitatis Torontoensis vocatis sumus. Graduates, please remain standing. All guests, please be seated.
Insignissime cancelaria, presento tibi hosce scholaris, ut admittantur ad gradus varios, testorque eos quoad omnia quae statuta requirunt aptos et idonios esse.
Ad perfectum hues provinciae, hues gemaginae patriae, et ad perfectum omnium notionum omnibus interis canentarum ego, ex autoritate mihi et toti universitate commissa, admitto vos ad gratus varios. Quorum or vobis do, et peto quoque, ut omnia conficiatis munera, quae ad illos gratus pertinent.
Please be seated. My name is Merrick Gertler, and it is my great privilege to serve the University of Toronto as its 16th president. Today, I have the additional privilege of assisting Chancellor Wes Hall in conducting this convocation. The university is an institution with deep historical roots and many enduring traditions. Among those is our use of the language of the medieval university in today's wonderful celebration. For those in attendance who, like me, are less than fluent in Latin, a translation may be helpful. For my part, I said, "Most distinguished Chancellor, I present to you these scholars, that they may be admitted to the various degrees. And I bear witness that, as far as all things which the statutes require, they are fit and suitable." Now, much more significantly from the standpoint of the graduating class, the Chancellor then replied, "To the benefit of this province, this great country, and to the worldwide community of nations, I, by the authority vested in me and in the whole university, admit you to your various degrees, grant to you the rights, and ask of you the responsibilities of doing all those things which pertain to those degrees." And so, as my first order of business, I am delighted to salute you to graduating classes of 2025 from the School of Graduate Studies, the Faculty of Law, and the Munk School of Global Affairs and Public Policy. That's it. You're done. Warmest congratulations. Let me also bid a warm welcome to everyone who's joined us here in historic Convocation Hall. Graduates, today the University of Toronto is formally recognizing your hard work, your accomplishments, your perseverance, and this wonderful milestone. Each of you, as a member of the graduating class, is joining an exceptional family of University of Toronto alumni. U of T has a global community of over 700,000 alumni in 196 countries. They are the university's living legacy and our greatest ambassadors. Today, we are also recognizing Patricia Jackson, a leading Canadian counsel in high-profile and complex cases, and a defender of civil liberties, particularly freedom of expression. We'll hear much more about our honorary graduand in a moment. But for now, let me simply observe that U of T alumni serve in leadership roles in every corner of the globe and in every walk of life. They are prime ministers, justices, scholars, authors, community and business leaders, scientists, and professionals of every description. Their endeavors have shaped the world we live in and the way we understand that world. We have no doubt that the University of Toronto's high international standing can be attributed to generations of dedicated and very talented faculty and staff members. But we also understand that this reputation has been built by our alumni, a group that now includes each and every one of you. So to the graduating class, let me say thank you. Thank you for your many contributions to the university while you were a student. And thank you for what you will do as members of Canada's largest and, I believe, most distinguished alumni community. One more very important word of thanks is in order. I'm sure all graduates share a sense of gratitude to the friends and family members who've helped bring them to this special day. So I would ask you to join me and the Platform Party in thanking them with a vigorous round of applause. Let me continue with a request. One of the distinguishing features of our convocation is that graduates come forward to be recognized individually. You'll be coming up this carpet here, and you'll be pausing beside the podium for your 2 seconds of fame as you wave to your adoring fans to rapturous applause. Then you'll follow the red carpet over to the ramp over on that side of the stage, go down the ramp, out the doors, and turn left. Go around, and at that point, we want you to turn left again and quietly re-enter the hall as your peers are recognized on the stage. Now, in that spirit, I want to encourage you to think of the very last person who's going to be recognized on this stage this morning, and I believe it will be Hazel Yoon. Hazel, are you here? Can you stand up, please? Stand up. Hazel? Stand up so everyone can see you. There we go. So everyone remember Hazel and return to your seat. Thanks for your understanding and assistance, and once more, my warmest congratulations. It's now my privilege to invite Professor Jutta Brunet, Dean of the Faculty of Law, to present our honorary graduand.
Patricia D.S. Jackson. Patricia Jackson is one of Canada's most esteemed lawyers, recognized nationally and internationally through numerous awards and distinctions. She has dedicated her trailblazing legal career to driving innovation, mentoring future leaders, upholding the highest ethical standards, and advancing the public interest. Widely admired for her rich practice, consummate legal expertise, and sophisticated advocacy, she has been a determined, principled defender of civil liberties, especially freedom of expression. Throughout her distinguished career, Patricia Jackson has been recognized as one of Canada's leading counsel in numerous complex and high-profile matters. Among her notable roles was her appointment as Commission Counsel, advising the Honorable Louisa Bourg in the inquiry into certain events at the Prison for Women in Kingston. Her work was instrumental in examining the treatment of federally incarcerated female inmates and managing the sensitive process leading to the groundbreaking Arbour Report. As a successful litigator at a top Bay Street law firm at a time when there were very few women in the legal profession and even fewer in the corporate litigation world, Patricia Jackson's unwavering dedication to pro bono representation and volunteerism is all the more extraordinary. To cite but two examples, she has been on the board of directors of the Canadian Civil Liberties Association for over 20 years and has successfully represented the organization in numerous precedent-setting constitutional cases before the Supreme Court of Canada. And perhaps most remarkably, she has served on the University of Toronto Tribunal since 1984, including 20 years including 20 years as senior chair, devoting thousands of volunteer hours over the years. Patricia Jackson's remarkable contributions have had a profound impact on shaping the university's quasi-judicial processes such that they have come to be viewed as best practice in Canada's post-secondary community. For her excellence in the professions as one of Canada's leading counsel, and for her outstanding service to the university through her extraordinary service on the University of Toronto Tribunal, Mr. Chancellor, on behalf of the Governing Council, I ask you to confer the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, upon Patricia Jackson.
On behalf of the University of Toronto, and by virtue of authority vested in me, I have the great honor and pleasure of conferring on you, as I do now, the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
Chancellor Hall, President Gertler, family and friends of the graduates, and most importantly, the class of 2025. I'm honored and humbled to be addressing you, it says here, and I'm more honored and humbled that I've heard things that I never heard before. I promise to not unnecessarily delay the reason you're here, which is to receive and celebrate the degrees you have also richly earned. My own graduation from law school was a long time ago, and given what you were just told, you can guess how long. Looking back on my then self, there are a few things I suspected about my professional career, which I now have a greater sense of. And I thought I might share a few reflections. You're all graduating in times that are much more uncertain and challenging than I did, but I'm hoping that some of them might still be helpful. But I do want to begin by hoping that all of you have the love and support of family and friends to the extent that I have had, a number of them here today, and most particularly the love and support of my husband, Ramsey Derry, and my sons, who are up here on the stage with me, Alex and Duncan. It's unlikely that your career will take you where you might think, or where people would assume your qualifications would lead, whether in law or in the Munk School or otherwise. They're likely to lead you in unexpected directions, I think, and it's important to stay open to possibilities. A few examples. In my law school class, a long time ago, there was a long-haired rabble-rouser in the back row of every class, whose pointed interjections took us in unplanned but usually interesting directions. And I don't think any of us thought he was destined for a conventional practice of law, but we kind of hoped he'd get some sort of set of gig jobs over the years and make a living. We were right about one thing. His career did take him in many directions. Bob Ray is currently our ambassador to the United Nations, having served as premier, leader of the official opposition in Ottawa, and of course many other positions. Or another good friend of mine, Nambi Duguid, who's here today, another graduate of the University of Toronto Law School, who had a very successful practice downtown as a labor lawyer. But after several years and reflecting on what she had achieved and obtained from her practice, decided it was time to change directions and become a writer, a food and travel writer, one of the best in the world. Or a younger friend of mine, who's like some of you went through the grueling process of articling interviews only to conclude that they weren't going to lead where he wanted to go. He ended up with the invaluable experience of clerking for some of the most notable judges, constitutional judges in South Africa, simply by seeking a better alternative, taking a risk, and going with the unfamiliar. My own case is rather more conventionally reversed. When I entered law school, probably like some of you, I thought it would be an interesting intellectual challenge, and it might lead somewhere, but it would probably not lead to a long-term career. I have a very short attention span, a career in litigation, or, at the last of all, a position in a Bay Street firm. The story of how that happened is too long, but that I spent more than 40 years as a litigator in the Bay Street firm of Tories is an indication of how far from our original plans our careers may take us. What do I take from these examples? Keep an open mind to the possibilities in front of you and specifically to what you're looking for and what you value as you embark on the exciting next stage of your journeys. There are probably more possibilities than you think. And if after a decent, not prolonged period, what you're doing is not satisfying, look for other possibilities, often in unexpected places. What should you be looking for? A few things. But most of all, I'd think a place where you are valued and mentored. Mentorship doesn't have to be a formal process. In my own case, I learned enormously from the more senior lawyers I worked with and my contemporaries. And after a certain point, it's important to start mentoring those who are younger. But it's wrong to assume that's a one-way street. I've learned at least as much, if not more, from the young people I have worked with. And I wouldn't limit that to the profiting from their very obvious technological superiority. I caution you to approach your position with confidence, knowing that what you get from your work is what you make of it. In this respect, I was very lucky. When I started practicing law, there weren't as many women as there are now, and it might have been thought that that would cause me to be somewhat hesitant. It didn't. I had the good fortune to be raised by parents, and particularly by a father, who made it clear that I would be judged by him, and impliedly by others, not by my gender, but by the quality of what I said. I found, and I think you will too, that acting with confidence engenders confidence in others, and amongst other things, that enabled me to shape the practice that I wanted, including challenging cases in the mainstream, civil rights, pro bono, and the remarkable year that's been referred to of working with the Honorable Louise Arbour. Perhaps the main thing that kept me practicing law for so many years was the wonderful experience of being in the thick of civil litigation. You might say that I have spent several decades up close and personal with the rule of law. Civil litigation involves important disputes about the rights and obligations of people and the powers of their governments. Decisions are made by independent judges, appointed overwhelmingly on the basis of merit, who decide cases not on the basis of perceived political or philosophical predisposition, but on evidence, tested fairly in a public adversarial system and according to the law. That doesn't mean that at the end of the case, the losing party is not very disappointed or doesn't think the result is wrong, as I and my clients sometimes were. But if that belief is warranted, there's almost always an appeal available. The rule of law and its necessary judicial independence is a fundamental pillar of our society and system of government, and I didn't think there would be much dispute about that. But now, apparently, there is. Nothing in my entire legal career has alarmed me as much as the recent attack by the Ontario Premier on the independence of the judiciary, and by extension, the rule of law. He decried bleeding heart judges, claimed judges should be appointed on the basis that they reflected his view of the law, and that those who didn't should be removed. Wrongly asserted that they have no power to determine whether the laws passed by the legislature are beyond their jurisdiction, and ended by calling for the election of judges so that they could be selected on the basis of popularity and not legal merit. And in case anyone thought he was just having a bad day, his Attorney General helpfully added that he's been expressing these and more critical opinions in private for many years. One of the important aspects of law is to protect everyone, including individuals and minorities, from breaches of the law by those more popular or powerful, even, and sometimes especially, when those who break the law are elected. The law is not a popularity contest, and if it were, we would all be at the mercy of uncertainty, not legal rules, created by whomever at a particular point in time claimed to embody the perceived opinion. I, for one, am deeply troubled by our Premier's recent attack on that system, not only because it comes from someone with power with influence over that system, but because, as we have seen in many other places, including south of us, that words from people in power such as this quickly begin to influence public opinion. We are blessed to live in a society governed by the rule of law, which depends on an independent judiciary. And my most profound hope for all of you is that it will continue throughout your legal careers. And wherever your hard-earned degrees take you, I hope you will use your intelligence, passion, and education to support it. My warmest congratulations to you all.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you the following candidates from the School of Graduate Studies who are being admitted to the degree of Doctor of Juridical Science. Jean-Christophe Bédard-Rubin. Tyler David Wenzel. Candidates from the School of Graduate Studies who are being admitted to the degree of Master of Laws. Kwa Chi-Cheng. Alec Andrew Sater. Candidates from the School of Graduate Studies who are being admitted to the degree of Global Professional Master of Laws. Gareth Edward Hockley. Elham Jarfali Yaspi. Candidates from the Faculty of Law and School of Graduate Studies who are being admitted to the degrees of Juris Doctor and Master of Arts. Keiwan Lee. Jovana Pajovic. Candidates from the Faculty of Law and School of Graduate Studies who are being admitted to the degrees of Juris Doctor and Master of Business Administration. Jared Brock Barkman. Brianna Maria Bruman. Chu Chen. Marco Ciccone. Matthew Cohn. Serene Sophia Rita Falzone. Alexandra Sophia Goldman. Claire Jones. Ethan Francis Kelly. Jared Manuel. Benjamin Allen Dalal McLean. Nathaniel Stephen Dalal McLean. Michael Joseph Principato. Arifa Razak. Michelle Slipanchuk. Alexander David Sweatman. Joshua Shane Van Roy. Christina Lu Wang. Nathan Ephraim Wola Gularenter. Jasmine Changyi Yu. Brody Zuckerman Schur. Candidate from the Faculty of Law and School of Graduate Studies who is being admitted to the degrees of Juris Doctor and Master of Information, Nikay Nantambu Allen. Candidates from the Faculty of Law and School of Graduate Studies who are being admitted to the degrees of Juris Doctor and Master of Global Affairs, Cassandra Louise Griffin. Samantha Andrea Meisner. Candidates from the Faculty of Law and School of Graduate Studies who are being admitted to the degrees of Juris Doctor and Master of Public Policy. Tori Dockery. Julia Kim. Samir Kular Reynolds. Candidates from the Faculty of Law and School of Graduate Studies who is being admitted to the degrees of Juris Doctor and Master of Social Work, Rachel Cynthia Bromberg. Candidates from the Faculty of Law who are being admitted to the degree of Juris Doctor, Maheen Akhtar. Mina Alam. Alwyn Pilar Sean Alminos. Ariel Elizabeth Amaker. L. Anderson. Chelsea Chuma Anthony. Michael Joseph Antefeoff. Amy Claire Origanello. Nazi Atza. Emma Allison Balliet. Matthew Beamish. Yi-Wei Bian. Morgan Blimke. Mileva Laura Boghosian. Allison Valerie Borch. Manrit Kaur Brar. Catherine Grace Bray Kingisep. Isabel Brisson. Sebastian Brown. Abigail Bryn Breyer. Andrew John Laurier Campbell. Jacob John Cardillo. Kiera Christina Sadie Carter. Grace Chan. Yukai Cheng. Michael Hanchao Chen. So Young Choi. Roman Weimer Torneko. Emily Elizabeth Chu. Clifford Yao Hua Chuang. Taylor Clapham. Rachel Kopp Clark. Zachary Carl Cole. Carson Cook. Megan Corbett. Patrick Cowley. Abigail Marie Craswell. Austin Joseph Curley. Bryn Elizabeth Dalmeo. Emma Fiona Davis. Hi. Eric D. Lorenzi. Vidit Samir Desai. Simran Kaur Da. Jasmine Dung. Gabrielle Lynn Dunning. Brian Peter Edwards. Benjamin Jared Eisen. Noam Epstein Roth. Qingyao Fan. Sarah Haley Farb. Faizan Fariz. Jaron Pfeffer. Benjamin Jordan Feldman. Allison Sarah Feng. Julia Ann Fine. Daniel Joshua Fogel. Roberto Andros Fonseca Velasquez. Anthony Forshu. Declan Daniel Gemmel. Rachel Sarah Gurton. Jana Eve Getty. Chelsea Ann Gordon. Ariel Celine Gorodensky. Sarah Greck. Jiray Guan. Sierra Joanne Halloran. Yu Xuan Han. Zoe Christine Hawkins. James Day Dennis Herringer. Elizabeth Hicks. Shelby Louise Samantha Homan. Alexander Anderson Horbel. Renche Ivan Shia. David Evan Hugh Ingalls. Ashley Janice Gion. Yashleen Kaur Jand. Emily Hayang Jin. Kaylin Rose Johnson. Daniel Benjamin Jalik. Qasim Shazad Kareem. Prarthana Ria Kashyap. Aisha Khan. Daniel Eugene Kiesman. Daniel Kim. Han Tae Kim. Jisoo Kim. Sean Kim. Bryn Isla Rose Kioki. Isabel Beatrice Clausen Marshall. Jonathan Moshe Kleiman. Christopher Scott Kozak. Kiona Elizabeth Lau. Do An Lee. Aaron Lee. Matthew Gerald Andrew Legale. Amy Yusin Lee. Cindy Sin-Yoon Lin. Peter Samuel Ling. David Mark Gaetano Leo. Megan Justina Ann Little. Demetris Logothates. Benjamin Lum. Juliana Patricia Lyon. Alexander McFarlane. Samuel Joseph Maitman Markowski. Olivia Jane Maley. Henry Dillon Mann. Sara Maksud. Lisa Markova. Astara McDonald. Alexander McGuigan. Tessa McHattie. Jacob McNair. Benjamin Warner Merrill. Deva Middleton. Alice Garam Min. Haley Min. Samar Mirza Mokhal. Mohammed Mehdi Vesam Mohammed. Abhinav Chandra Mainampati. Jenna Zoe Nadell. Natasha Jean Marie Nehru. Maha Noor Noor. Emily Kayla Atanwajiwan. Si-Yoon Park. Daniel Ross Parsons. Adrian Pietzik. Daniel Thomas Pope. Arik Portnoff. Emily Florence Marie Purcell. Jason Bradley Quinn. Enrique Raul Reali. Madison Francis Regan. Jacqueline Natalie Rinchema. Hannah Sarah Rosenberg. Quinn Joseph Rozwadowski. Jason Eric Ruggeberg. Francis Royangeza. Ella Kyungyang Ryu. Abhirami Sasatharan. Olivia Devon Schenk. Madeline Kate Schneider. Joshua Simon Schwartz. Joel Curtis Seifert. Pratishta Sharma. Angela Shi. Sian Shin. Corey Adrian Sheba. Joseph Mark Simons. Laksega Siva Loga Nathan. Nicholas Fox Slonich. Nathan Snowbell. Laura Vanessa Spaniolo. Andrew George Spellman. Avital Sternan. Justin Stewart Lyon. Zachary Swanell. Caroline Joanna Swiderski. Sena Sayed. Kristen Ka-Long Teng. Emma Xian Tang. Amar Ali Thaver. Ria Thomas. Gareth Cameron Sky Thorlickson. Caroline Faith Tolton. Zachary Nicholas Train. Rebecca Xianglin Tylee. Hassan Amin Valji. Nina Rachel Varghese. Kanika Vashist. Bjorn Wagenfeil. Shuir Wang. Eyal Luis Wilk. Christopher Benjamin Ptolemy Wilkes. Ethan Michael Wilkinson. Brittany Alexandra Williams. Alessia Wolf. Helen Yi Li Wu. Yi Shu. Yi Ming Shu. Noah Jacob Yabrov. Jen Yu Yang. Stanley Bowen Zhang. David Yanofsky. Jim Zhou. Candidates from the School of Graduate Studies who are being admitted to the degree of Master of Global Affairs. Thuraya Khalad Abdul Hamid. Sarah Afian. Afa Al-Rawi. Dana Anmar Al-Sadr. Shia Beat. Benjamin Anthony Bazari. Julia Catherine Paulette Brahe. Crystal Marion Butler. Andrew Chunlai Chan. Hoyan Chan. Joshua Chung. Yu Wing Chung. Maria Fernanda del Almeida. Aileen Deng. Hayam Adnan El Aswad. Dania El Ayubi. Thais Zakia Ferris. Gari. Parandeep Kaur Gill. Ty Lloyd Gitzel. Petek Gordiusis. Misha Lucas Marinus Hajna Nurala Kamesh. Jenna Hirji. Laura Hockheim Tomei. Alia Ahmed Hasni. Shinran Hao. Autrey James Johnson. Parisa Karamlu. Kirilo Kutanorni. Maktab Lahai. Zhenzhen Liang. Emmy Lundgren. Zhenhao Ma. Shamshir Malik. Omer Malikyar. Ananya Kaumudi Malupatla. Avery Don Martin. Andrew David Code McKay. Melina Cynthia McPhee. Xiaotong Meng. Ping Yim Miu. Madalena Montero. Dana Mustafa. Milad Nayami. Rubayat Binte Nazmul. Tu Trong Nguyen. Faith Adeife Asenoloy. Olivia Leah Paul. Thomas Lucas Sarianos. Alyssa Maria Pulela. Maya Ali Rothstein. Ibu Kuno Laua Doreen Saebi. Ai Samaha. Ashmita Sandhu. Savran Fatima Shafak. Nazia Shah. Yuruo Shen. Zoe Rebecca Shore. Yulia Strokan. Reem Talat. Emily Alyssa Tambos. Gary Edouard Tetreau. Ada Malorczada Trybukowska. Elena Villabona Palermo. Mengchen Wang. Isabel Huang Watkinson. Wu Yang. Sofia Eroida Yuspovich. Theodros Birhan Zemanuel. Candidates from the School of Graduate Studies who are being admitted to the degree of Master of Public Policy. Dana Abtahi. Janelle Patricia Alvarez. Natalie Ashraf Armanius. Janatul Zakir Adri. Olivia Taylor Aviani. Samin Babayandar Jazi. Allison Gonzalez Baldos. Casey Danielle Devrea Bass. Ainsley Genevieve Bissett. Daniel Neil Boykowski. Carter Bray. Alexander Carter. Alp Chatina Kunju. Dra Chen. Nikolai Kirillchuk. Fiza Chowdhury. Persia Alexandria Siadat. Sabrina Andrade de Souza. Erica Datina. Olivia Jane Detmers. Annabelle Fezia Davy Dravid. Chang Du. Abia Fahim. Lynette Furtado. Syed Ali Mehdi Gardezi. Nicholas George Julius Geist. Amy Gibbs. Sophia Halchenko. Halima Hassan. Stephanie Paula Hebel. Quinn Michael Heffron. Mariana Higgins. Mitchell Paul Hopkinson. Annabelle Iesoge Iyowe. Peter Long Jiang. Yasmin Kamal. Abiyaz Reza Khan. Katerina Custation. Veronica Marion Lancaster. Alexander Lee. Jinyan Lee. Huili Liu. Blake Alexander Lytle. Cassidy Rose McNeil. Manvir Kaur Mengat. Matthew Montgomery McLeish. Edward Min. Hugh Edward Needham. Konstantina Nikolakis. Megumi O'Hara. Danilo Liam Oneto Bolevsky. Vanessa Padilla. Karishma Klee Parmar. Alexandra Ava Patalita. Mayoan Peng. William Aaron Pratt. Chella Rafferty. Anya Rakecha. Chinjan Rao. Simran Kaur Rayat. James Donald Rockingham. Tasha Hannah Romaine. Aurora Sabrian Schatz. Anuva Arya Sharma. Mejgan Chefa. Ursula Sitars. Catherine Siva Kumar. Iran Sun. Megan Tran. Naomi Reza Trick. Jacob Tomas Van Helder. Grisha May Jarmia Velasco. Vera Vachenikova. Jingshuan Wang. Jenna Weaver. Haley Hunter Wells. Xiao Yu Yang. Shi Yang. Hazel Yoon.
On behalf of the University of Toronto, and by virtue of the authority vested in me, I hereby admit all of those candidates not here present to their degrees in absentia.
As we conclude Convocation, I wish to thank all of you for your participation and your patience. To the families and friends and to those in the procession, let me say thank you. You've made this a more memorable event for each member of the graduating class. I want to especially thank our wonderful Chancellor, Wes Hall, for presiding so graciously over today's ceremony. Thank you, Chancellor. Let me thank as well the many other colleagues and friends of the university who participated in this convocation, whose names you will find in the program, and a special shout out to our wonderful reader today, Sarah Faraday. Great job, Sarah. To our honorary graduate, Dr. Patricia Jackson, let me just say that you have inspired us with your lifetime accomplishments and your career, and today you've inspired us once more with your amazing words. Thank you so much, and congratulations. I now invite the Chancellor to bring today's ceremony to a close.
As I bring this convocation ceremony to a close on this, your special day, I hope we'll see you often in the years to come, and I invite you to stay connected. We'll be very interested in your journey, and we know that you'll make an impact for the better in whatever path you choose. Concilium, demissum est.